So last few Sundays we were discussing one particular shloka, which is very important concept in Bhagavad Gita regarding our development of our personal spiritual life. That many times people ask whether scriptures give us any process to follow for progressing in spiritual life. It may not be the modern way of telling step 1, step 2, step 3, but the process is told. In different scriptures it is given literally in a different way, but the basic theme or basic idea remains the same. So in Bhagavad Gita it says from this point of view in this shloka, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistrairgunyo Bhavarjuna. Whatever we are seeing in this world is nothing but the game of these three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Not that one person is made of a particular guna. There is nobody who is made of absolutely one guna. All are combination of these three gunas. But predominance is important. Even a person who is sattvika, does he not sleep? That state is in a way is a tamas, is inertia. Or a person who is active. Whatever sattvika you are, activity means rajas. Activity means you are not in equilibrium, you are not in a poised state. Activity means we go for the result of the action. Why we do something? Because we want to achieve something. Next sloka also is pertaining to this. We shall go for that later. So, these three gunas, we are supposed to keep balance of that. There are two extremes. One in inertia, inactivity, anger, depression, etc. Other side, there is activity, positive activity. To achieve something higher, there is no result in the worldly sense without any activity. You work hard, a farmer works hard, a student works hard, a businessman works hard. That working hard is a rajasic quality. Sattva is in balance. Sattva is in middle. You are neither too much result-oriented activities, nor you are in inertia, which is inactivity. But it is balance of that, which is called equilibrium, and that equilibrium is sattva. Now first you achieve this equilibrium, then there is another step to avoid or to go beyond even the sattva. Sri Ramakrishna gives an example. We discussed one or two classes before that all the three gunas binds you, all the three gunas affects you, keeps you in ignorance. That which wants to make you inactive or dead is called tamoguna. That which keeps you bound with the result, with attachment and hatred and passionate, etc. That's why you will find people who have strong likings and dislikings. They suffer. Mostly people are more or less in a balanced way. Even if I don't like one person and that person is around me, it should not create so much irritation and disturbance in your mind. That means you are a bit better than this person in inertia, etc. Then there is a stage of sattva which also is part of karma, which also is impelled by karma. So you are supposed to go beyond that. Sri Ramakrishna says a person was caught by these three dacoits. One says, let us first of all take away everything from him. All the three agreed that. One says, then why to leave him like this? Let us kill him. So another fellow said, no, we don't kill, we don't do this. We didn't rope him for killing. So that he doesn't inform to police or something, let us tie him with a tree and we go away. It will take time, by the time we will go away. One who wanted to kill is tamas, inertia. One who wants to bind is rajas. So after binding him, all the three dacoits left. The third one came back. Oh, I am sorry, we robbed you, but we have no intention to bind you also. So let me free you from this bondage. So that person was very happy. At least he is not a dacoit, he is a good man, though he also has robbed me. So he said, thank you very much for making me free. In that case, why don't you come to my home? Just have a cup of tea, because you helped me so much. He said, no, I cannot come, because I am also part of this dacoit team. Police will catch me. This is an example to understand that even sattva guna, from the higher standpoint, also is a good person, but it also is keeping you down. It is not allowing you to go up. So the shloka says, Nistrayad gunyo bhava Arjuna. Sri Ramakrishna many places says this, that you take out one thorn which is pricked in your body with the another and then throw away both of them. That thorn which helped you to remove the thorn in your body, in your hand or feet, you don't preserve it. That also is a thorn only. Tomorrow that also may prick you. So in the same way, from higher spiritual perspective, even sattva guna keeps you engaged because it is in between. But the idea is to go above it. How to go above it? So it says, Nirdvandvo bhava. Dvandva is all that comes in pairs with you. Like happiness and misery, sukha dukkha, what we say, heat and cold. You will find there is a comfortable level only we tolerate. You neither like heat nor you like cold. If the room becomes very cold, you don't like it. If room is very hot, that also you don't like it. So you want in between. That's why it is called air conditioned. They make the air conditional. What is the condition? Neither too much nor too less. Light also same for us. You may be able to look at this light, but there is above one light you cannot look at. Our eyes are not habituated to look very bright or very dark. In the dark you cannot see. If too much light falls in your eyes, also you cannot see. So you adjust the light in between. Sound also same. If too less sound, you cannot hear. If it is too loud, still you cannot hear. So our senses are habituated with one particular level. Air pressure, for example. If you stay here, you are on plains, correct? Suddenly you are put to Mount Everest. You cannot survive even 1 hour there without oxygen cylinder. But those who stay there, whether animals or birds or insects or whomsoever, they continue to stay there. People staying in hilly region are habituated to stay there. Examples are given. You know, in the ocean there are different kinds of fish or animals. They stay in a particular depth only. That which is on the surface, 15, 20, 100 feet, you send them to the bottom of the sea, they cannot survive because they are not habituated with that pressure of water. Again, those who stay at the bottom, if you bring them up, their body will be torn into pieces because their body is habituated with that pressure. So, in every way, there is a limit in which we play. More also we don't like, less also we don't like. Any kinds of, say, good food, you want to eat because you don't have that food, but you don't eat too much. There is a limit of eating. So complete not eating, even Bhagavad Gita one shloka is there. If you want to be a yogi, avoid the extremes. Those who eat too much, those who do not eat at all, both of them cannot become yogi. Those who sleep long, more than necessary, and those who do not sleep properly, both of them cannot become yogi. So there is a huge importance in our life, normal life, forget about spiritual life, to be something in a mediocre or a middle level, avoiding extremes. But that is not the path of yoga only. If you want to go beyond that, you simply becoming happy with some little sattva is not going to help you. One of our Swami who was there in America a long time, Swami Ashokananda, he used to say, just having good mood of meditation, or today I feel like meditating, it doesn't take you anywhere until you really sit and meditate. So sattva is like this, but then your effort starts. Then your effort you need to put to meditate. You feeling like is of no use until you really do something. So, nirdvandvo bhava. Try to be free from these two extremes or these dualities which comes in our life. Generally our life is what? We are like that football. Half of the people in the field wants to kick you into this goal, half want to kick you into this goal. One goal post is called sukha, another goal post is called dukkha. And we, like a football, are continuously kicked towards sukha and dukkha. People look for sukha, people look for happiness, but we forget that happiness itself, other side is misery. Because happiness up to certain extent, okay, more than that you cannot tolerate. Dukkha also, up to certain extent, okay, otherwise you cannot tolerate. So football match always starts with the ball in the center. Then game starts with sukha and dukkha, misery and happiness. Life also is the same. When a child is born, child is not aware about many things. As slowly the child grows and he or she becomes subject to these dualities. Nowadays, this children's maturity comes very fast. They are habituated, maybe because of previous life or we do not know. 2 years, 3 years old children addicted to mobile phone, addicted to tablets and computers and all that. Not with the gadget itself, but to watch and hear what they want to. I have seen small children. You must switch on that particular channel to eat food. And parents don't feel anything wrong about it. Child mind is not in eating. It's in the playing or watching something. And parents are feeding the child. It's not a very healthy practice. Anyway, that's a different story. So, till the individuality grows, we do not have this liking, disliking things. Slowly we develop because of our samskaras, because of our practice in the family, etc. Then he says, Nitya Sattvastho. Initially become established in Sattva first. Then you go beyond that. Then Niryoga Kshemo Bhava. This is very interesting, that you should be free from, or at least you reduce, even if you are not free, at least you reduce this tendency. What is that? Yoga and Kshema. Here yoga means to collect the things. People keep on collecting the things. Even if they do not want, also collect. I was telling other day, for many, many years, recently only, last few years I came to understand what it is. I did not understand the meaning of the word called shopping. I did not understand. I want to buy something, I go for marketing. No, that's not shopping. Shopping, people say, it's an addiction, even if I do not want. Either I have money or time, so I go and do something, buy something. After bringing to home, 2-3 days, 1 day, after that you keep somewhere, you don't even remember it. So, idea is this: yoga, to collect, to acquire. The whole life goes in acquiring things. And second is Kshema. What you have, you spend in protecting those things. You say, what is wrong in that? If your life is not spiritual, there is nothing wrong. If you want to lead a spiritual life, then you have to be conscious about it. Not that you can give up completely. So keep on accumulating things and spend so much time, money, energy to acquire the things and then to maintain things. There is a sloka in one of our scriptures that this is a particular attitude. Very few people think about it. It's not very difficult to understand, but people don't think about it. What is that? This is specs, correct? This is for me to use. Because with that I can read properly. Then I started accumulating different types of frames. We wear the same clothes, but otherwise people, now mask has come. People wear matching mask, matching with their clothes. And people have 2-3 masks are okay. No, people have varieties of masks. And then compare with the clothes and wear it. Eventually what happens? That which was something for my use, slowly I became the instrument to be used by it. It started using me. One Westerner told me, very few Indians understand this concept. Why? Because you do not know, you have not led the materialistic life. Think of ultra-rich people. They have 500 pairs of shoes, they have few thousand types of clothes, and the time, money and energy goes in maintaining those things. That was supposed to maintain me, correct? My shoes and my clothes are supposed to, for my maintenance. But I became instrument to maintain them. The total game becomes change. I remember one simple incident. In India, in front of our ashram, some water accumulated. So if you want to go to the road, you have to cross that water, correct? So a gentleman was wearing new shoes. And he says, if I walk in that water with the shoes, my shoes will be spoiled. Think, it's a simple incident, but how much attitude is different. So he removed the shoes, kept the shoes in his hand and barefooted crossed the water. I just saw that. Then I saw, shoes was supposed to protect my feet. Now I am protecting the shoes, even my feet get spoiled. This thought doesn't come in the mind of people. That which was for me to use, it has started using me. In general, what happens, there is a beautiful sloka In Viveka Vairagya Shatakam by Bhartrihari, he says in that sloka, this particular concept. All of us eat food. So what we say? We take food 2-3 times a day and we are nourished by that food. But in reality, if you think whether you are eating food or food is eating you, if you eat food and get nourished, you should not grow old. The more you consume the food, it is pushing you towards the old age. Actually, food is consuming you. It is not you are consuming food. We say, oh, I have nothing to do, let me watch TV. So you say, it is my passing time, it's my hobby to pass the time. Do you pass the time, or time is constant and you pass by? Time doesn't pass. Time is a static something. You pass. Then you say, I passed 1 hour. You didn't pass 1 hour. That 1 hour pushed you towards future or towards old age or towards death or whatever you want to say. So idea is different. These are the concepts which are discussed in our scriptures by some great thinkers. So Bhartrihari is one of them. I have told once, Bhartrihari was a king. King means he was totally merged in the enjoyment. Whatever worldly enjoyment is, he was merged in. And how to enjoy the world? He has written 100 slokas. How to enjoy the world? All kinds of enjoyment he has written. Varieties of ways of enjoying the world. But he was a king. So he has to do justice to people. He has to tell people what is correct, what is incorrect, etc. Then he wrote 100 slokas of moral good behavior called Niti Shatakam. But then he was fed up with his enjoyment. So he decided to renounce. And he renounced in such a way that he became one of the biggest yogi in that particular sampradaya called Nath Sampradaya. When he became that yogi, he has written Vairagya Shatakam. So he has written every state of his life, he has written these 100 slokas. So he says in one of these slokas that Bhogana Bhukta Vayameva Bhukta. It is not the objects which we are enjoying, but it is the objects are enjoying us. And then in many ways, many other things he is writing. One line he says, Kalo na yata vayameva yata. It is not the time which goes, it is we who go away. Time remains the same. So, to be free from this attitude is an attitude, it's a thinking only. Who doesn't use, who doesn't eat, who doesn't sleep, who doesn't use footwear, who doesn't use clothes. But when that becomes primary thing of your life, so it loses the significance of being able to serve you. Slowly you start serving that object. It is just like shoes was supposed to protect his feet. He is ready to spoil his leg, but he wants to protect the shoes. So you start journey for some reason, but you end up just opposite way. So this thinking is required that what is happening in my life? I am thinking many things, but does it happen? Now, we also through our counseling center are thinking to go into this. And I told everybody is your client. All of us in one way or other are phone. You want to see whether you are addicted or not? Switch off your phone for 2 days. And you will see you are not able to, you are suffocated. You cannot live without it. And that shows that we are slave to that. So there are practices You use the mobile phone. You cannot, maybe you don't live without that. Fine. But totally becoming subservient or becoming slave of that is not expected of you. I was seeing some of the counseling people, not here, online also they say. For example, when in the family you sit for dinner or something, so they say there is a basket little away from the dining table or the dining area. Everybody should put their phone there, then sit for lunch or dinner. At least while taking lunch or dinner, 15 minutes you talk to each other. People go for, today whole family is going for dinner. Restaurant, everybody is busy with their mobile phone. It doesn't mean anything. So they say, you use the mobile phone, but see that mobile phone doesn't use you. Otherwise you will be slave to it. So this practice we should do. We have some Swamis. We also practice in our own way. He says, I switch off my mobile phone at 6 o'clock in the evening. I switch on again morning 8 o'clock. Then I can see which are the missed calls, etc. Then I can call back to them. Where is your freedom? I may keep you busy by calling 10 times to you. Your mobile is for your use, not my use. How can I use your mobile phone? But I am continuously disturbing you. In a way, I am using your mobile phone and you are being used. So always this attitude of thinking that I am thinking I am using, but eventually that thing is using me. This thought in between we should think. By keeping a distance or a detachment, we should see whether we are attached to that or not. If you are attached, that means it is using you. You are not completely free from, you are already enslaved by these objects. People's life, for example, these are all practical things connected to this. That why Sri Krishna says us to become free from this? People keep on looking at the Facebook or Twitter. I'm not against them. That is a business for them. And you keep on filling your mind with the information which you don't need. And so much information comes in your mind in the name of entertainment, in the name of general knowledge, in the name of news and all that. And that runs riot in your mind. Then you come and say, I sit for meditation, I cannot. Because those things only will come to your eyes. Out of 100 things which you watch on mobile phone or TV or somewhere, laptop, etc., few things you become attached to. Either you hate it or you love it, which you want to see again and again, etc. So those things haunt you. Those things will haunt you and will not allow you to do what you want to do. If you go somewhere, do you eat the food, whatever food is served to you? No, you select. Oh, I am diabetic, I don't take this. I am cholesterol, I don't take this. According to your health, you choose your food. Then why can't we choose the information which comes to us? Anything and everything which comes, we just gulp it through our eyes, through our ears, etc. So if we become selective, just like our food, then no, I'm not interested in those things. Only these few things I see, because it is useful to me. That should be under our control. I was telling other day, how many people switch on TV to watch a particular program? Most of the people keep on changing the channel, which is the minimum effort they have to put, that they keep on watching. Different kind of interests are there. So you just relax. I just keep on watching like an idiot. You do not know what you are. But those information goes to your mind and runs riot later on. So these are the common things. And now the modern research about this addiction to gadgets has come, that people are using on an average 5 to 6 hours minimum 5 to 6 of their waking hours. Your waking hours is hardly 15 to 16 hours. Out of that, 50% time you are giving to mobile phone. And then we say we don't have time for reading, we don't have time for meditation, we don't have time to good things, this and that. But it is good to use these things, but these things should not be able to use us. So here he says, Nir-yoga kshema. This continuous effort of acquisition and protection of the things which are for my use. Suddenly, they start using me. So it says, you be free from this. Atmavan. Atmavan is, you get self-composed and self-collected. When you want to attend to something, your mind should be able to attend to. Generally our mind is, when you play, you think about other things. When you go for shopping or marketing, oh yeah, I have to reach before this time, that time, you think about your meditation. So a very simple teaching is there which elders have told us. Where you are physically, keep your mind there. This is, you don't need to concentrate with a special something. If you are here, keep your mind also here. You are here for a purpose, but your mind is wandering somewhere else. So you are wasting time, because neither you are able to get anything from here because your mind is not there, nor you can achieve anything anywhere where your mind goes. So where you are, children we say this way, that wherever you are, keep your mind also there, composing your mind or rather collecting your mind. So this was the shloka which we discussed quite a few times. And beautiful statement is given by Adi Shankaracharya in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, that those who are busy in acquisition and protection of the things around them, for them spiritual life becomes difficult. They are not only slave of their body, they are slave of the other articles. Think of us, we don't need to criticize anybody, but the more affluent they are, sometimes to understand the social, because people ask questions, people are from the society, so just to understand the society, how it works, I can never think of, but that is a reality now. A shoes you wear, how costly it can become. But it is beyond our thinking how much expensive shoes these people can wear. And then they buy a box to protect the shoes. Then there is a cupboard to put inside the box should be inside. Then there is a house where you put the cupboard. So slowly, the object which was for my use, I am serving that object, spending so much money. And that also, these are things you say, how I know it. These are the psychological studies are there. For example, somebody has got 50 pairs of shoes or footwear. Where they want to keep it? Not in a hidden somewhere. They want to show it off. So as soon as you enter the house, there are boxes arranged in a particular good fashion where highly expensive shoes are displayed to show that this I have purchased this one. There are people to do that. Wrong or right, we don't say. We are not here to criticize anybody. But that which was meant for their use, those things have started using him or her. That part, a conscious mind should understand. Conscious mind should think about it. And many people have done, worldly people. A lot of possessions are there. Suddenly, they throw away, give away everything to be understood what I am doing. And then suddenly become free. There are many people, able, a lot of money they may have, but with a simple live. I do not want my shoes to use me, I want to use the shoes. I do not want my clothes to use me, I want to use the clothes. So that is very important, that materialism is this, that the objects, we have a shloka somewhere, that look at my fate, that shloka says like this. I wanted a servant to help me, but I became not only servant of the servant, servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. they have hired me. When I become slave of an object, my senses become its slave, then I become slave to my senses. So it is like a servants of the servants. So slowly these people become mentally very sick. And these are the reasons for which they become. So somebody has to wake up them, counselors, elders, parents, whatever. Then comes one of the very, very most quoted and most discussed and most misunderstood shloka, which is also very important teaching. We are taking shlokas not by shloka after shloka, but we take concept wise. But this is a very important concept, which all of you definitely have heard this shloka, called Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma karma phala heturbuhu mate sangostu akarmani. This is the shloka. Whenever you discuss this shloka, people have so many questions about it. Because apparently, this shloka is misguiding. What is that? Karmani eva adhikaraha te. You have right to perform your action. To karma, you do your karma. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have a right over the result of your actions or fruits of your actions. And here is the problem. If I don't have control over the result of my action, why do I do action? That possibility Krishna knows. So he says, Mate sangostu akarmani. See that you don't become attached to inactiveness. You have to be active, but with detachment. You cannot be inactive. Because even if you want to renounce all the actions, you cannot. Because you cannot live, you cannot survive without karma. Krishna says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma kriyat. Without doing work, nobody can sustain even for a second. Continuously you must do action to survive. Human life, we call our civilized society. Who are not civilized? Those who stay in forest and hills, we say they are not civilized. We are all civilized. Because it is we, so we have to appreciate ourselves. So we become civilized and they are not civilized. Those who stay in the cities, those who have a kind of norms, nobody thinks why, but very few people think. Oh, everybody must go to school. What they learn in school? No, they learn science, geography, mathematics, this and that. How many of us can use what we have learnt in the school? Except the basic things, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Those who don't go to school also can count their money correctly. That much knowledge they have. But to survive, to live, continuous work is being done by people. Other than human being, we have a state of mind where we remain inactive relatively, but still we can survive. There is no animal, there is no bird, there is no insect. They work hard just to survive, just to be alive. If you are seeing sometimes, then see a few episodes of Animal Planet. Continuously on the run. A cow drinks water from the pond, is afraid that a crocodile will come and catch. A deer is eating grass, suddenly finds a hyena is behind it. Hyena is afraid of lion. Lion becomes afraid of other animals. And we say lion is the king of forest. Try to watch some videos just to understand common sense. How do the lion dies? It's the most painful death the lions die. When they grow old, these are the small animals. They eat them alive. Because the big lion but cannot even move. So these predators like hyenas and others, they go and eat them up alive. And he's supposed to be the king of forest. Our old Sanskrit book says, Jivo Jivasya Bhojanam. One jiva, one living being is the food for another living being. So everybody just keeps running around. Those who are grown in that culture, and mostly in Bengal and Kerala like this, you may have, people have ponds in their house behind where they do fish farming. Some fish for them to consume. And what they do is, in that pond, they purposefully put either big fish or some other aquatic animal which will keep this fish keep on swimming, keep on running around. If they don't, then for them it is not that tasty to eat. Because the fish continuously must be on the go. Static fish cannot grow. Every animal, every bird, every insect except human being is continuously running physically just to survive. Otherwise they will be killed. Whichever animal they are. It is, again we say we are civilized. It is only this I never knew, just I came to know. Have you heard about any other living being than human being who can be or who could be egoistic? Can a lion be egoistic or a cow be egoistic or a cat or a dog or any insect? No. To be egoistic is a particular tendency of human being. No other animal can be egoistic. Sometimes in their behavior, because of they live with us, so you find some dogs and cats behaving in a very different way. But otherwise, no animals can have ego. Human being has an ego. When a dog gives a piece of meat to its own children or cubs or puppies, that dog doesn't become egoistic about it. You know what type of feeling, you see how nice I bought it. They don't have that feeling. It is only human being. So that ego which we say ego negatively is at the root. That ego we need to work on for our benefit and for our future spiritual life. So idea is this, the simple meaning then we will discuss next time. Karmani eva adhikaraste. You have right on karma. You do one karma. The fruit of karma, the result of karma is not only result of your karma. There are so many other things that are included there. If a student writes an exam, he or she may write whatever good. Do you think the result depends only on his or her writing? No. The examiner's mood is not good. He didn't get a cup of coffee in the morning, and you were the first answer paper on his table. So that also may affect. You may have written correctly, but the examiner finds that it is not readable. Your handwriting is so bad. So he tries to read and cannot read, so he gives less marks. Many times, the work which you do not get the result which you intend to get. Because there are many other factors which can be affected. You do everything, suddenly the whole thing goes to void, it goes destroyed. People have done whole thing that it suddenly everything destroyed. So then ma karma phala hetur bhu, you don't become subject to the result of your actions. For this I am doing. If you don't get desired result, you get pain. You get desired result, you get egoistic. You see how nice I did? One simple story. One man was driving and went around in the car park, huge car park, but couldn't get a parking slot. So was tired. So he stood in one place and prayed to God, God, at least give me one parking lot. I am so much in a hurry. By the time he prays and opened his eyes, the car which was in front came out. So he should thank God, correct? Instead of there say, oh, don't worry God, I got a place. This is human being. So our ego doesn't allow us to behave even normally. So here Sri Krishna says, you should not become a cause, or you should not become an agent for result of the action. You do it for that, but remember, the success or failure goes to somebody, the leader. You are the instrument. Mate sangostu akarmani. In that case, I don't do what? No, you should not become inactive also. You should not become attached also. But it is not as simple as that. There are some aspects of that we shall discuss next time. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.